Hi Madeline! This is the first time I've had to film this video because I've had technical problems, so we'll see how well this goes. Thank you so much for making your video. I really appreciated it. I'm excited to do this project with you. I'm very sorry to hear about your ketchup. I'm glad to hear about your Susan B. Anthony letter. I don't think anything as cool or historic like that has happened to me in a long time. I guess the most recent historic thing that's happened is I found out via an obituary of my great-great-grandfather that some of my relatives at least came here in like 1737. Pretty cool, a long time ago. My week's been okay. It's kind of crazy. The school that I'm at right now is on the quarter system. And the quarter system and the semester system have like totally different time management strategies and like totally different rhythms, and I haven't quite mastered the quarter rhythm yet, which I feel like is exhibited by the fact that I'm supposed to be working on a paper right now, and instead I'm making a video. There's good parts and bad parts. I have been getting better at dancing. This is like something that I look forward to all week, is like Tuesday nights I have dance class. I do social dancing, I'm a Lindy Hopper, and I've done Lindy Hop for like 5 years, 6 years, somewhere in there, a long time. A while. And the thing about like Lindy Hop is you can get better just practicing by yourself, but it's like very slow and incremental, and I finally have a teacher that I really love working with, and I'm getting a lot better, and it makes me so excited. And Lindy Hop's really great. It's a good hobby for a lot of reasons that like most hobbies are good hobbies, but also something that I feel like isn't talked about as much is like when I first moved here to go to school, I was moving away from people that I knew really well, obviously, because I lived there my whole life, but also like in the South, like when you see your friends, you like give them a hug. Even if they're like not super great friends, you still give them a hug. And in like not the South, they don't do that as much. So I would go like weeks, like 2-3 weeks without like physically touching another person. And it was driving me so crazy. And so like then I would go to Lindy Hop, and you would just get to like dance with people, and they'd be strangers and you wouldn't know them, but touching people is like an important thing to do. I've never worked 2 jobs before. That sounds super crazy, but I'm working 1 job right now. I'm a TA for a class that I'm not really qualified to TA. I feel like maybe they just forgot to check whether or not I was qualified when they offered me the position, but it's fun. I'm learning a lot. I feel like as I learn more about how to be a TA, I was always really like too hard on my TAs and professors when I was just a student and not also a TA. Like I found out TAs are unionized. I felt really bad because I wanted to get my students' grades back to them like as soon as possible, but I physically couldn't because the union says you can only work a certain number of hours in a week. Oh, that was weird, my voice broke. And so I couldn't like grade all of the things that I wanted to grade because unions. I'm really glad that you brought up expertise. I feel like, I was actually thinking about this as well earlier. This week, after one of my classes, one of my classmates came up to me and said, "I think you're the smartest person in the class," which was very nice of them to say, but like isn't true. I don't feel like I'm anything in the class. I'm like maybe the person that talks the most. I have no inhibitions about answering professors' questions or asking questions, talking back. I'm not very shy when it comes to that, at least. So like maybe they got the impression that I was smart. It's all a ruse. Fake it till you make it, guys. Because I don't really feel like I have any expertise in anything, which is kind of crazy to think about. And like the other thing is I definitely think that I measure my smartness off of like with other people as a barometer, and I feel like the further I get into my field, the smarter the people that I'm around become, because I'm like meeting more like actual experts and like people who are like top of their field because I'm learning from them. So I'm like, well, I'm not smart. They're smart. I'm just here learning. So like that makes me question like what the concept of like smartness and intelligence is, because like for a long time I've like sort of not thought that there was actual intelligence. Like intelligence didn't really matter. It just more mattered like how much you care and how hard you work. And I still think that, but I don't really know what intelligence is or like smartness is. And I feel like expertise, especially for like the field I'm in, this is probably different for you, but like book learning can only get you so far because like my field is so applied. So once I get out like into the field, I'll sort of like because I feel like the field that I'm going into is like half gut reaction and like half actual like knowledge and learning. So like I can't like cultivate that like gut knowledge without actually being in the field. And I'm sure it's different for like other professions and other fields. But yeah, that like makes me question what I consider expertise, what I consider intelligence. I feel like I just work hard. I don't know. Because like I know I have a degree in something, but it still feels like I don't really have very much knowledge on this subject. I was just thinking about that. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. For those of you who don't know, Madeline and I have known each other for maybe a zillion years. I think it's been like 5, 4, 3, 4, 6, 4, 5, something in there. I'm always amazed when people can like remember when they met someone on the internet, because I'm really mad at that. But we've known each other for a long time. But we actually met in Valley Forge, which I feel like is a perfect combination of like our two personhoods and like our two identities and our two specific fields. Because like Valley Forge, lots of plants. We walked around, we talked about the tulip trees and the sycamores and all that. But then like there's also history, which is what you do. And there were like statues of like von Steuben and statues of Lafayette, and then there are like really old trees that have like been there for like hundreds of years. So thank you so much for doing this with me. I hope that you're gonna have a good weekend, and I'll see you later.